Hello, geeks. This is Brian Quee from medicalcodinggeek.com. I'm here with another video. Um, Behind me, I have a board that has stuff that I've been wanting to talk about for such a long time. Because when I started the vlogs, I would write down topics, and this topic in regards to education came up a lot, and I've been meaning to you know, give a structured discussion about it. But things got in the way. Kids went to school, kids went to sports, and a bunch of other things. But I'm finally back on track. So for today's video, I am going to go over the educational requirements for medical coders, and this will include health information technology, health information management. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think the post that started it all, I am going to guess, is this post. Okay. It's in regards to a master's degree. So, hello, does anybody have a master's degree? If so, do you think it was helpful to your career? What university did you attend? What course did you pick? Health information, public health, hospital administration. All right. So, when I first started the podcast, this was one of my main goals, was to try and pursue a master's degree, and I didn't know what direction to go to. So I've actually listed here a couple podcast episodes, which I will put into the description of this video and also in the podcast, of people who I've talked to who have master's degrees. And before I get into all of that, I do want to take a step back into other concerns in regards to education. Is, do you need an associate's or do you need a degree to do medical coding? So there are videos out there, there are TikTok videos, there are Instagram videos out there that say no, you don't need a degree to get into medical coding. And that's true. I totally agree with that. But you don't need a degree to be a medical coder. When you think of a medical coder, this is just somebody who works in a medical coding department and just performs the function of just medical coding. Now, you can get certified, you can become a supervisor, you can become a director, but then as you move up the management chain, there is going to be a requirement for a degree. So keep that in mind. Because here's the thing, right? I'm going to outline, the associate's level, the bachelor's level, the master's levels. Why are each different type of degrees important? And I think what you're going to walk away from this discussion is a level of maturity in your education, because I've seen people who go into roles that require bachelor's degrees and only have an associate's, and you can tell that they are not ready or need more education to understand a bachelor's type of mindset versus an associate's type of mindset versus a master's type of mindset. So I'm going to go over what I think those certain levels are, right? Now, again, do you need any of those degrees to do them? No. Does it help you prepare your mental maturity, your educational maturity? Yes, because if you don't have anything to talk on versus just Googling whatever you need to do, then that's all you got. But be ready to be firm with what you choose to stand by with, right? There's nothing better than backing yourself with your education and your diploma. right? So that's how I see when you're out there in the field utilizing your degree. Now, I'm going to show you, let me get this prepared here. I want to start off with the RHIT. Okay. So the RHIT, I'm going to show you here. Now, the RHIT is a credential that comes up a lot, especially in the Facebook groups, not just mine, but other medical coding related Facebook groups where they ask, well, is an RHIT worth it? Or is an RHIT necessarily a coding credential, right? And I get that a lot. When you read that, registered health information technician, you think, well, boy, that person's probably somebody who handles medical records, right? It has nothing to do with medical coding. And boy, you are wrong. So I'm going to show you, okay, the curriculum for the RHIT, and for those that are just kind of wondering, should I go for an associate's in health information technology, or should I go for, and I've seen this, and I've actually taught for associates in medical billing and coding. Those are two separate associate's degrees, but they're different. And I'll tell you why, and I'll show you why, right? Okay, so here is where you want to begin. Okay, I'm going to start off, and I've always said this in many videos and many podcasts in the mentoring series that you see in the Medical Coding Geek YouTube channel. I've referenced this website a lot, CAHIM. Let me show you, give you a better perspective. Let's get to the home page here. So the CAHIM basically is a accrediting body that accredits specifically health information programs. Okay, and so if you're trying to, and I've been in institutions, by the way, where I had to undergo the accrediting process. And so one of the requirements, of course, you have to hire somebody that is RHIA, RHIT, depending on the degree. I believe for associates, it's an RHIA with a bachelor's. Now for bachelor's, you need to have a master's. So that's one thing to think about. So here's what I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use this CAHIM, right? And I'm going to actually show you a program that I found that is an associates in medical billing and coding. Okay, let's start off with the CAHIM program. Okay, the reason why I would suggest looking for programs that are accredited by CAHIM is because with that accreditation, okay, you have the ability to sit for the RHIT. Also here, I'm not going to show it to you, but the RHIA as well. Okay, the RHIT and the RHIA. And you note here the eligibility requirements, and you see here a commission. It's accredited by a program that is accredited by CAHIM, Commission on Accreditation for Health Informatics and Information Management Education. Okay, because if your program is accredited by this association, okay, you can sit for the RHIT. Now, I've seen discussions like, okay, going back to my initial discussion about, well, is the RHIT worth it compared to like CPC and all of that? All right. Keep in mind that I believe the CPC, AAPC programs don't necessarily require you to have a degree. Okay. This requires you to complete an associate's level accredited program in order for you to be certified. Okay. So this is more of your associate's level. Now, if you look at CCA, CCS, CCSP, CDIP, I think more on these areas here, you don't necessarily need to have a degree. Let's double check before I shoot myself in the foot. Eligibility requirements, complete courses. Yeah, no associates. You can have an RHIT and RHIA, okay, which requires a degree, but doesn't require necessarily a degree in order for you to sit for the program, but it does require you to have experience, okay? So this is one of the credentials that, I should get, but for some reason it scares me. I don't know why, because I've been in, I've worked as a CDI specialist. I'm currently an auditor, a DRG, clinical validation auditor, and I do a lot of inpatient work, but I think the CPT is what scares me. So anyways, again, RHIT, let's get back to the CAHIM. Okay, so I'm going to show you just Florida in itself. Okay, I'm going to pick let's go for it. Let's go for the associates and bachelors, and I'll show you the difference, okay? So here are some programs that are accredited by CAHIM in Florida. You could do this for your state, but I'm just going to pick Florida because I live in Florida and I am aware and I've actually know about these schools, and I know some people who are program directors of these schools, especially like Miami-Dade, Kaiser, Broward. Believe it or not, I actually was thinking about teaching for Broward a long time ago. Let's see. University of Central Florida, which is the closest college to me. There's St. Petersburg College. I believe I know the person who is the director there. Hopefully I'll have her on the podcast. Let's see. So let's take I think I have a, do I have it up? No, I don't have it up. Why did I let it go? Okay, so let's take a look at an associate's level program. Yeah, let's just do Valencia. Let's just pick Valencia here. Okay. Where is it? Programs, student resources. Where do I go? As it loads. What I'm looking for is just the required courses. I want to show you an associate's level program and kind of show you side by side with associates in medical billing and coding. Okay. And again, I want to talk about why it's called an associate's medical billing and coding versus an associate's in health information technology. All right, so here, take a look. This is just, I guess, their prerequisites. You need to have medical terminology, introduction to computers. That's fine with me. These are just some of the prerequisites. So once you're in the program, then you have introduction to health information management. That's fine, right? I took those courses. I taught those courses. Legal aspects of health information management, that is important. I've always stated this. If you're going to pursue medical coding, this is your course that you need to really focus on, is the principles of disease. I've mentioned again that coding is easy, but you need to take this class very seriously alongside with pharmacology, because this is your fundamentals, and of course your anatomy and physiology. These three here are your fundamentals for coding. Don't let it pass over your head. Excuse me. Don't let it pass over your head thinking that you're just going to take this class and think, okay, well, I'm just going to breeze through this class to get to coding. Okay, and when you get to coding, it's just going to be more difficult because you don't have an understanding of this. And because of this, you won't really go too far unless you leverage this course beyond the degree. Okay, so this is really, to me, fall term is more of your clinical areas and introduction to health information management. In the second term, you have help data concepts. Great, because it'll answer some questions on data sets. That is a domain specifically for RHIT and RHIA, which gives a lot of test takers problems. So for some reason, this becomes a very complicated class because there are different data concepts. There's different data sets according to different different healthcare settings, and each of them have different requirements. Let's look at this here. Basic ICD should be ICD-10 coding. Yep, you need that. Just the understanding of the basic guidelines, how to navigate the ICD-10 books. That's great. Healthcare delivery systems. This is very important because you want to understand the different types of healthcare settings that are out there. Freshman composition. Well, writing classes are very important. I highly, you'd be surprised how college students have really bad grammar, and I've taught in colleges where I've seen that, and so very important communication skills and your grammar. Let's move into the summer term for this program. Health information technologies. Yes, this might introduce electronic health records. I'm sure the regulations that are associated with the technologies, including HL7, talk about natural language processing, computer-assisted coding, etc. This looks like to be HIM 1800. This looks like an externship or internship, professional practice experience. HIM 2253 is CPT coding. Scary course for me, but you need the basics, right? So you have to understand how to navigate and utilize the CPT books. Statistics, very important because that's part of healthcare statistics, understanding how to me, it's basic algebra. When you think about it, percentages, averages, means, etc. Just understanding basic math on how to, whenever you're given an exam question on statistics, they're just going to give you scenario, but this class will help you how to navigate through that, understand what specific formulas. To me, it's very algebra basic course in utilizing statistics to monitor how the performance is for a healthcare system, healthcare program, healthcare organization. Year 2, moving into quality performance and improvement, very important, especially if you're working for a healthcare setting, and especially specifically hospital settings. And even in your department, utilizing quality and performance indicators, quality performance techniques to help improve your processes in your department. Yes, this is part of an RHIT program, associates. Next thing, supervision, organization, and management. I mean, do you get that necessarily with a coding program, coding certificate, coding, certificate program? No. One thing that I definitely have mentioned before in previous podcasts and videos is that if you're going to be a supervisor, if you're going to manage people, you have to know how to deal with people, understand supervision, how to, I can definitely, I know there are going to be HR related issues, and how if you have a troubled employee that you need to report, how do you go through that process? This class will definitely help you out. Advanced ICD-10 coding and reimbursement. This will take your coding, your basic coding knowledge to the next level and be more applicable to scenarios. That's very important. Professional practice experience. That's again just just more hands-on with professionals, more like an internship. Healthcare statistics and research, right? So there is the statistical methods, which is, the starting course, then understanding how to utilize that in healthcare statistics, and then utilizing in research, because if you're going to be a director, if you're going to be a manager, keep in mind, this is just an associate's level program. Utilizing research in such a way that you're reporting your findings, okay? Writing papers, writing journals. If you're going to be part of an association, how do you know how to research your information? If you're going to speak for an event, how do you research your topics, and how do you present those topics, right? So these are things, and a lot of, by the way, a lot of the conferences, the speaking events are really like case studies. And most times when they start their presentation, they do a little bit of research. So this will help you out, and how to leverage that into starting an introduction to what your problem is, by identifying some healthcare statistics, just statistics in general, and how you research. There's professional practice experience 3, health information technology review. I'm assuming this is going to prepare you for the RHIT exam. General psychology, I don't know why that's there, but it's there. Now, that is the associate's level program that will help you get into the RHIT program. Now, let me show you. I went here, correct? So I'm searching associates in medical billing and coding because I see it. I see people say that they are part of the program. The last mentoring session that I did, I believe she is part of a medical billing and associates program. Now, here's one that I had found. I was scrolling through here, so I can cut through here. So this is a college by the name of Bryant and Stratton College. Okay. So just keep in mind, this is a disclaimer. I'm just, picking random colleges. I am not associated with any of these colleges, Valencia College or whatever it may be. I may know people in the Valencia College, but there's no way that I have any ties or anything that I say is representative of them. Just keep that in mind. But I'm just randomly picking colleges so that way I can evaluate their program. So here's Bryan Stratton College. They offer a medical reimbursement and coding associate degree. So you get an MRC associate's degree. I've seen it as medical billing and coding associate's degree as well. They have a bunch of programs online: New York, Ohio, Virginia, and let's see, is this Wisconsin? Yeah. Okay. So I want to show you, here's the key courses. So here are the key courses: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 39 credits, so 13 courses just to get an associate's. Let's do a side by side. So there's 39, right? There's 6, 12 is 18, 18 plus is 31, 43. So you get my drift, right? So total credit hours for an associate's HIT program for Valencia College is 70. For an associate's, 39 credits, half. Here you go. Okay. So, you see some of the similarities: electronic health records, introduction to reimbursement and coding, okay, diagnostic coding, procedural coding, advanced ICD-10 coding, evaluation management. I mean, you see some of these things are separated out. And evaluation management, I definitely agree should be a course, but not part of an associate's course. It should be when you finish your associates. This should be like a webinar series brought to you by a private company, not by an academic, institution per se. That's just my take. Research and writing, you see that's the equivalent to the freshman composition, which is important. Computing skills, you see reimbursement, introduction to reimbursement and coding. Yes, you need to know how to understand reimbursement methods, the revenue cycle process. That's important. CPT HCPCS level 2 coding, right? Clinical documentation, integrity, and quality. Wow, I didn't know they have a course. That's interesting. Advanced CPT HCPCS level 2 coding, professional coder practicum, only 1 versus 3 over here, right? Only 3 semester hours versus, you get my drift. And workplace mathematics versus statistical methods and healthcare statistics. So you see, Math 101. I'm cringing because the name of the course, you get my drift. You're getting associate's degree. One is called an HIT, one's called reimbursement and medical coding. Okay. Not to bash this college. Okay, I actually like this course. I think this should be its own course. Yes, I totally agree. I like the fact that they have an evaluation and management course, but these are very basic. And you see, like this college here, Valencia College, spends more time. Okay, spends more time to making sure you fully are mature after you finish the program. Workplace mathematics. Do you think you're ready just for math 101? I took, if you if you were in a interview and they would ask you about your math skills and they said, "What's the name of the course?" Well, it's math 101. When you think of math 101 for a college, I mean, I would kind of revert you back to high school math, right? The level of sophistication for this college does not compare to here, right? Because there's more, right? Because there's 70 versus 39. It's nearly split in half. Here's another thing that I would also say is that this program, you cannot sit for the RHIT, right? So let's go back to, I'm just going to close this one out. I'm going to show you Bryant and, what was it? Bryant. Well, I'm just going to search for it, right? So I'm going to search for it. I'm going to go through all. I know it had Bryant, Bryant. Search. No results found. You see that here? Okay. So this is what you want to know is programs, associates programs that are labeled as medical billing and coding associates program, or in this case, medical reimbursement and coding, are not accredited by CAHIM. And as such, you won't be able to sit for the RHIT. Okay. And because I've shown you that, let's go back to, when we think about RHITs not being able to be medical coders, or not sufficient to be medical coders, or not sufficient to be, working as CDI specialists. I mean, again, take a look at this. Just the first semester alone, will hopefully get you through some of this. Now, it's not as extensive as a nursing program. I will give you that. But this is why, if you want to be an RHIT, an HIT, and HIM, and you have aspirations to be in CDI, well, you better get your mind right and focused on these classes to the point where you need to do more beyond what is taught in this program. Because if you're passionate to do CDI, as I've seen a lot of people do, but they cannot get into it, why? Because they just couldn't understand or did not take advantage of these three courses. Take a look at it. Again, an RHIT has medical coding courses. It is embedded in an HIT program. It's layered on top of a coding program with health information technology and also your practicum. So the reason why I'm showing the RHIT is because it has value, it has merit, it has weight.
MedicalCodingGeek.com